there, twins and teens. Welcome to another episode of For Adolescents by Adolescents. I am your host, Nadu. Today, we're talking about something that every single one of us go through. But not everyone feels comfortable discussing puberty. Puberty, that's our topic for today. You know, that stage where your body is changing, your emotions are everywhere, and sometimes you don't feel like yourself. It can be exciting, confusing, or even stressful, sometimes all in the same day. But here's the thing, puberty doesn't just affect your bodies, it doesn't just affect our bodies. It can also impact on our mental health and how we feel about ourselves, how we interact with friends, and how we handle stress. And today, I'm not alone. I have two very special guests joining me on the show today. Hi, Hope, right?
Yeah. Hi, Nado. It's nice to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Dorcas.
Hi, Nado. How are you?
I'm very fine. And guess what? Hope is a mental health ambassador. Dorcas, who works with adolescents and understands these changes from a professional and a personal perspective. She'll help us understand what's going on our minds during puberty and share some tips for navigating it. Let's start by understanding what our main topic, puberty, is. Dorcas, how would you explain puberty to a person in the simplest way?
Okay, I would say that puberty is that period in time where your body begins to change from that of a child to that of an adult. And it's a process. It's that in-between place where you begin to experience things that you before that time have not experienced. You begin to your brain gives a signal to certain parts of your body and they begin to release certain hormones. Like in women, you now have estrogen, which is the hormone that's responsible for menstruation, for breast growth, and all those the shape that comes out, and you begin to look womanly or feminine. Good. And then for the guys it's testosterone, and that is what is responsible for the voice break that they experience, the pubic hair, the chest broadening, all of those growth things that happen at that time. It's hormonal. It is caused by a hormone. So that period where all of those things happen is what we call puberty, where your body begins to change, and also, it has an emotional part of it, it has the hormonal part of it, and then it has the physical part of it. So that is puberty in a nutshell.
Thank you for that nice breakdown of puberty. Hope, what's one change you noticed first during puberty?
Okay, so the first change I noticed during puberty, I noticed that I began to have this sense like, should I go? Should I not go? Things begin to change for me. The friends I followed, everything, and like I began to develop. But at that period, I don't go out. In the class, I'm always like this. I always want to hide so that people will not notice, because I normally feel embarrassed when I'm walking on the road. Somebody will be like, "Oh, how are you now?" All this, my one friend, "Oh, how are you?" I'm fine. I hope don't they grow. See, but all these things they make me feel so embarrassed. Couple of times I had to turn back. If I'm going somewhere, I'll turn back and go home. Sometimes I will cry. I will lie on bed and cry. So this was it.
That reminds me of the first time I had my menstruation. I was afraid to tell my mom because I felt I was pregnant.
I was scared. I was feeling like maybe something has gone on in my body and I was going to face. Or I was feeling like it's a tough disease that entered me. So in my menstruation, it was not easy.
So did it affect your confidence or your mood while you grew older?
It did. It affected my confidence. So, like I told you before, I want to go somewhere. I will not be able to go. That courage, it will just die. My mood will change. I will become sad all of a sudden. I just have to go and cry, pour it out.
Yeah, let it out. So Dorcas, from your experience and from what Hope just said, what are some common mental health challenges? Because hers is likely part of mental health challenges. So from your experience, what are some common mental health challenges adolescents face during puberty?
I really like that Hope mentioned the fact that her confidence was affected,
Yeah.
her sense of self was affected, her self-esteem was affected, and she was confused, she was embarrassed. These are all the things that happened, and then she was sad. So that speaks to mood swings. 1 minute you're doing well, you're eating what you like, and another minute somebody comes and reminds you that you have sprouted breast, and the next thing you're not happy about it because you don't like that attention. And then there's an anxiety. You're anxious. Sometimes you begin to even compare yourself with your peers, and you're like, oh, why does this person not have breast and I have breast? Why am I the one with this burden of breast? Why
am I different?
You begin to have those kind of comparisons. Why has this person grown taller? His chest has grown bigger. His voice has broken. My voice has not broken. You begin to just have all of this self-esteem issues, confidence issues, and that is a good time that depression also sets in, because you are just, a lot of things are happening, changes are happening that you do not have the resources, you do not have the tools to handle, and then you find yourself being sad, like she mentioned, being sad. So these are some of the mental health issues: mood swings, anxiety, low self-esteem, confusion, frustration, anger. All of these things are things that will most likely happen at that point in time.
Beautiful. Thank you for that brief, experience, sharing your experience. It's very nice hearing from you. Hope, have you ever felt stressed or worried because of the changes in your body or your emotions? How do you deal with it?
It was stressful, yeah. It was very stressful because, especially the emotion. Like when this first started happening to me, it was so strange. I mean, I started liking people. I didn't know what to do at a point. Like I said before, I cry every time. Even up to now, I still cry. Though, yeah, I'm coming up, yes, but I still cry up to now. There was a time when, yeah, I liked this person. I know I cannot go and tell my mommy that, mommy, I like this person. I will be flogged for it. So I have a senior sister. Yes, I can rely on her. I count on my sister very well. I told her. She was like, Hope, the first thing you do now is to pray. That time, all the advice is pray, pray, pray. Pray. Prayer was not working.
You pray because you are going through puberty.
It kept on coming. I just had to control myself, and even up to now, it was stressful. It's really stressful, but one just needs to know how to control him or herself.
Yeah, one just has to learn how to control it. Okay, Dorcas, talking about the emotions, still on the emotion stuff, why do emotions sometimes feel stronger or more unpredictable during this stage of puberty?
It has to do with our brain. So you know that the brain is made up of different parts, and each of these parts have their role,
functions.
that they play. And then the part of your brain that is in charge of regulating your emotion, your impulses, and also like the seat of executive decision making, where you make decisions, where you weigh logic with emotions, is your prefrontal cortex. And guess what? It does not finish developing until you're 25 years old. So you can imagine how much less developed it is when you start puberty typically starts for girls between the age of 8 to 14 and for boys from 9 to 15. So you can imagine how less developed it is, because even in your early 20s, it is still developing. So you do not have the tools to handle these emotions, and they are new. They are things that you have never experienced before. They are new, so you do not have the tools. The thing that will help you manage it is under construction. Is a work in progress. So that is why it seems as if it's so overwhelming, because the things that you were feeling then, or we felt when we were your age, to us now is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Because now my prefrontal cortex has finished developing, and I have also acquired experience along the way, that helped me deal with it. And another thing is, our hormones control our emotions. I spoke about hormones earlier on, where I said like your brain gives signals and some hormones good. They also have a role to play in the way that you feel. That is why before your period, there's a period of time where you begin to feel horny. There's a period of time where you are very short on people. People easily annoy you.
Yeah.
You feel it, right?
Yes.
That's because your hormones also have a role to play in your emotional disposition. So those hormones are now released at that time in your life that they have never been like that.
They begin to manifest.
So they begin to manifest, that's it, and you do not have the tools to bear it. And also, let's talk about the environment. environmental factors, there's pressure, because while all of this is happening, it's not like you can just go into your house and say, let me deal with this puberty. Your life is still going on. You have to go to school, you have to do your chores at home, you have to run
Just
errands.
have to deal with
your
it.
life is going on. So juggling all of that with these new changes in your body and all of those things that have never been there before can make it feel overwhelming. But then the first step is knowing that, oh, this is something that is happening to me, and then looking for how you can help yourself and take care of yourself.
Wow. It means that my frontal, my prefrontal cortex is still growing.
Yes.
Still growing.
So give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace.
I'm telling you, especially when I tend to flare up. Sometimes I don't understand myself. Now I know that it's my prefrontal cortex that has to develop.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Okay, so talking about the tools that we can use to, control these emotions, how can we feel comfortable during this stage? What can we do to feel comfortable?
Okay, the first thing is to realize that it's normal. It's a normal biological process. Everybody has been through it. Anybody that has not been through it, they've not just gotten to that age. Another thing is to also realize that your journey is different, my journey is different. I started menstruating at 14, but my classmates had started in JS1 when they were 9, 10, 11. Do you understand? If I had put myself under pressure, I probably would have been more affected. Another thing is to learn about it. I know they teach it in school in basic science, On your own, you have access to the internet, you have books. The more you know about puberty, the better equipped you are to handle it, because you are expecting it.
Yes.
It is not just, blindsiding you.
Yeah.
You are expecting it. So the first thing to do is learn about it. When you learn about it, you will learn what it means, how it will come, and then you now learn the tools that you need. For everybody may need different tools.
Yeah,
we
because
all
we
will
are
not need the
all
same
different.
tool. We're all different. For some people, you may need to just, take a break. For some people, you may need to come out and talk to your friends, talk to somebody, talk about it. Write in your journal about it. Just cope with it. You have to understand yourself. And that's why I tell people, I say, your body is your body. This is the only body you will ever have. You're not going to have another one. So it will benefit you if you learn to study yourself and know yourself.
And
what
know what
works for
suits
me?
you.
What suits me?
suits you.
What works for me? If I am stressed, what can I do? It may be different for different people.
Yes.
So you have to learn your body. That is the best way to take care of yourself. Learn what works for you. And it's a good thing that it may change. What works for you now may not work for you later.
Yes.
So as long as you are willing to continue learning about yourself and learning about what you're going through, you will be fine.
You will be very, very good to go. So, how do friendships change during puberty?
Okay, so like she said, puberty starts within the age of 8 to 14.
Yeah.
When I was 6 or 7, this play we normally play, we play that we are cooking.
Yes.
I had friends that time that we do these things together. But when I got to the age of 9, 10, I started seeing it as nonsense. Like it was not making sense to me anymore. At this they'll be like, Hope, it's not me and you that used to play this play together.
Yes.
We do these things
You're
together.
not doing big girl. You're forming
I'm
big girl.
forming, thank you. I'm putting things.
Yes.
I'll be like, no, leave that. If you're not ready to move with me at this point,
Let's
you
just put
leave
it
it.
C's.
At this point, if you're not ready to move with me the way I'm going, if you are not
Yes.
coming
If you're
up,
not ready to put on the C's, stay
one
away.
place. Thank you. That was like the friendship. It was changing. And then there are some people that I'll meet. This person can do this thing. I'm excited. I like this thing also. I begin to come close to that person and we are friends. That's how friends started changing. I was dropping, I was picking, dropping friends,
dropping,
and
you're
taking new
picking.
ones. Thank you.
That's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
Okay, so she mentioned that she started picking friends and dropping friends. One thing that happened for me was, when you're growing up, I used to have like male friends that would run around the place, climb trees, climb rocks. When puberty happens, there seems to be a separation of the sexes. The boys suddenly now and look for boys' friend. They now know the
Yes.
difference between having a girlfriend
And
and
a
a boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Everybody just, boys begin to move towards themselves and
boys,
girls
girls
begin,
get
because there's a whole lot
everything.
of self-consciousness that happens at that time. Now you want to roll with your kind.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid of judgment, you're afraid of mockery,
And
you're afraid
sentiments.
of questions. So people want to even ask you questions. I know I had, when I was during puberty, I know I had friends my age who were asking me, "Hey, but can't you hold the blood?" Talking about menstruation, I was like, "No, you can't hold it." Like, is it not like urine? I say, "No, it's not like urine. You cannot hold it." You know, so there are a lot of questions, and these
Yes.
questions can be embarrassing, especially with
Yeah.
our kind of culture. So people just want to act like, "I cannot see it, I don't know it," and then they just hold on to people like them.
We are in Africa. Okay. Thanks for that chipping in. What's your advice for balancing school friendships and self-care during puberty?
I think that you should roll with people who are your people.
Yeah.
You know the people that like you. Not so. Roll with them, and then whatever you learn, share with them, so that both of you can be on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Because while you are learning more about puberty, about periods, about self-esteem, body image, you do not want people who pressure you. You do not want people who mock you. You may not be a big-breasted person. Another person is a big-breasted people. You don't want friends who begin to mock you because you're big-breasted,
yes.
or because you're small-breasted. So you roll with people who are on the same wavelength with you, who have learned the things that you have learned, or who are at least willing
Yes,
to
people
learn.
that are okay with you.
Yes. People who are
that's
even
right.
willing to learn.
Humble.
Exactly. So that's how, and then you learn to lean on one another because your values are aligned. You learn to lean on one another. If your friend is depressed, it's not the time for you to now ditch them and go and look for a new friend because you don't like sadness. No, because your turn will come, and you also need somebody to be in your corner, of course. So you need those kind of friends who you can vent to,
Yeah.
tell them how you're feeling part time, and they know how to support you. So the
And
resources.
mostly people that can keep your secrets.
Oh, that's also a very good one.
Yeah.
Friends who will not go and tattle to everybody, tell Tom, Dick,
Share
and
it.
Harry that, oh, this person has seen a period. Do you
Yes.
know she has seen a period? And then they will embellish it with other things. Like you thought that your period was pregnant. She probably does not know, and she will not say, "Ah, she has seen a period, she's pregnant."
Yes.
And
You
then
are
everybody
being a
starts spreading
nice
it around.
rumor.
Or maybe you have friends that when you get stained, they cannot remove their cardigan and give you
And
to tie. Cover your
They'll
shame.
feel embarrassed to call themselves your friend.
Exactly. Some don't even want to sacrifice anything for you.
So Hope, regarding balancing school friendships and all that stuff, what has your experience been? Please, could you
Yeah,
share with us?
like Doka said, you need friends that you can lean on. It's really, really true. And friends that can keep your secret.
Yeah.
When I started menstruation, I had the first day it happened, it was in school. And we're on our sportswear that day. My sportswear is yellow.
Wow.
So I was on my chair. We stood up to go out for break. I stood up. My friend was like, "Hope, come." She has started already.
Yes.
Hope, come. She removed her cardigan and time for me. I was like, "I better remove this thing. I don't like all this extra." She was like, "Oh, cool. I am telling you something. Come." She tied the cardigan. I removed it and flew into her bag. It was my friend. The other one, Miracle. She came. She was like, "Hope, you don't start period. You know tell us." I was like, "Which one is period?" "Okay, yes, I know they used to see period, but no, I've not started." Miracle said you have started. I said no. Like
So initially you were not aware that
I
you were
was
stained.
not aware.
Wow.
We were arguing about this thing. They were like, "Oh yeah, now come, let's go." When I said, my mood changed. Yeah, I was not expecting it, so I had to tie a cardigan till school closed. When I went home, and I not even tell my mommy first. I called my sister, and I told my sister. My sister laughed when she came home. She not tell my mommy. It's hard to help me tell my
So you
mommy.
are actually
I was-
close to your sister even more than
Yeah,
you're close to
I
your
was-
mom.
I was feeling so, do you know, like I was feeling so
embarrassed or
to
something
tell my
like
mom,
that.
yeah. So that was it. And in school, anytime something happened to me during this, I'll go to Mia. Mia, I could see what thing they happen. Now, have you seen this one? Yes, I've seen something like this. This is what you do. I'll call my sister. So at this point, you need people that have gone far. Yeah, people that have learned better to help you out. So.
And as for you, lucky enough, you already had a sister that
Sister
had
that
passed
experienced
That's
that.
very nice.
Yeah.
And not forgetting the fact that you should have good friends that could watch your back.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Okay, Dorcas, Puberty is when many adolescents start learning about their bodies, and the rights for the first time. So, how important is it to include the SRHR in these conversations?
Oh, it is very, very important considering the kind of society that we're living in, where there's a whole lot of shame surrounding,
Yeah.
the female body.
I know that stuff.
Religion is not even helping because I remember you spoke to the fact that you were told to pray away your
Yes.
feelings and
Yes.
your emotions, and the fact that you were having attraction. That is why we need to learn about sexual and reproductive health, because if you know about it, then you know that it is a normal part of puberty for you to begin to become attracted to people. You're now wondering, but this boy is not like he's even fine like that.
Yeah.
But suddenly you want to hold his hand or hug him.
Crush
you,
on
you
him.
begin to have crushes. People that you would not have even thought of twice before.
Yes.
Suddenly they look attractive to you. So it is important for us to bring these conversations to the fore because of the kind of society we live. There's a whole lot of taboo, there's a whole lot of shame, there's a whole lot of misinformation, myths, misconceptions
Thank you.
that surround the discussion of puberty and the things that it brings. So yes, it is important that we bring it to the fore.
Wow, that's great. And what are some basic, SRHR facts every adolescent should know as they go through puberty?
Okay, so I have a few that come to mind. First, I will say, know that your body belongs to you. Your body is your own. Bodily autonomy is a thing. Self-determination is a thing. So you have the right to say, oh, this is what I want to do with my body. This is what I do not want to do with my body. Leaning on that, I'll say you also have the right to say no. And you have the right to say yes. So consent comes in. Now, consent must be enthusiastic. That means you are eager to give it. You want to give it. You are smiling. You are happy in your heart. You want to give it. And then consent can also be withdrawn.
Yes.
That means even after I've said yes, I can say no later and then it will stop. So you have the right to determine who touches you, who comes in contact with you. And as you are expecting others to do to you, you should do to others. But let me say something. Just because you have the right to give consent does not mean you have the right to give consent to have sex.
Yes.
Especially with
when you are not
somebody
the right
who,
age.
Exactly. Especially with somebody who is also not your age. So what I mean is, you're 14, for instance. Nobody that's above 18, 19, 20, or up to whatever age it may be, can get consent from you, because your consent to have sex is not recognized. Until you are 18, you cannot give consent to have sex. Whether you were smiling there and skipping there to go and have the sex, that person has committed what we call statutory rape. If a person older than 18 has sex with a person younger than 18, it is considered statutory rape, because children cannot give consent. Again, remember, prefrontal cortex, exactly. So children cannot give. The law does not recognize your consent, but there are other things you can give consent to. You can give consent to who is your friend, the kind of bodily contact that they have. Nothing sexual.
Like things that positively impact on
Exactly.
you.
So if somebody touching your property, somebody touching your things, you can definitely give consent to those things. But sex, no. This is what I always tell adolescents. It's kind of like when it comes to sex, I know that the urges are there, right? And it's great. The urges are there. It is natural. It is a biological thing. It is not a shameful thing. Sex in itself is not dirty. It is not shameful. Forget what religion says. Forget what culture says. It is not shameful. However, there are certain things worth waiting to do. For instance, you are excited about going to university, not so.
Yeah.
You are. But you cannot just get up and go to University of Abuja and start
Never.
classes. Do you not know that? You know that why? Because you need certain qualifications.
Yes.
You need to get to a certain age. You need certain world experiences.
You need jam.
Thank you.
You need to pass your WAEC.
You also need to get to a certain age, because there's a
Yes.
minimum age that universities can, give you admission, and you need that world experience to even help you succeed there. So it's the
Right
same
on
with
campus.
sex. It's the same with sex. You also need to wait to get to the point where you understand the consequences of what you are doing. You have information before you
information.
get it. And then you also have gotten to a place where you know right from wrong, and you have your standard. You have developed standards for who you even want to have sex with. What do you want to do? Do you want to have sex with somebody who is kind, tall, dark, handsome, who has integrity, who is honest, who is
Yeah.
hardworking, who is successful? These are
Yeah.
standards that you need to have for yourself. And until you get to a certain age, you get certain experiences, you mature to a certain level, you cannot even conceive this standard. So it is important that you wait. So another thing that I would say that everyone needs to know when it comes to sexual and reproductive health and right is that you have the right to accessing medical care. Nobody should discriminate against you because you are a girl and say, oh,
Because you're a girl.
because you're a girl, you should not be coming here to ask for test, maybe an STI test, or ask for condom, or ask for whatever, whatever
sometimes when
treatment
you
I need.
tend to
Maybe
do
you have
those
an
things,
STI and you have a sickness and you go to the hospital. Nobody, you have a right to get good medical care without anybody harassing you. If it is your leg paining you, the doctor has no right to come and be touching your breast.
Yeah.
It has no connection with your
Leg
foot.
and breast.
And then even when they have to explain to you why. Also, I would say that you have a right to not go through sexual and gender-based violence. You have a right to not be raped. You have a right to not be sexually harassed on the street, catcalling, name calling, shaming, slut shaming,
Body shaming.
or body shaming. You have a right to not experience that. So do not keep quiet. If you experience that, speak to somebody, speak to authority, report cases of things like that happening to you. Do not allow anybody silence you with, what would they say? The shame is not yours to bear. So do not allow anybody silence you. And finally, you have a right to digital safety. So that means on your own, you are going to prevent yourself from being a person that people will now begin to share your nudes, your naked pictures, or maybe you make calls with somebody, you don't do things like that.
Never.
And then if somebody comes behind your back and takes pictures of you and spreads it online, you have a right to report them to the police because that is a crime. You also have the right to not be harassed online. The fact that you are on Twitter, the fact that you're on Instagram, on Facebook, on whatever, TikTok, does not mean that people have the right to now pile on you and insult you. So where people have crossed the line, you have a right to
block
seek
them.
justice.
You block them, as simple as it is.
Sometimes blocking them is not enough. Sometimes it is good to seek justice because what you don't want a situation where it seems like that person has won and then you are just blocking, but he will move to the next girl and begin to harass her. So sometimes it's good for you to just send police to their house. Do you understand? It's good. It passes the message that you are not going to tolerate that, and other girls will now know that, oh, so there are laws that protect me from this, and there are laws that protect you from that. So those are your rights. Those are some of your rights. Basically, protect yourself at all costs because your body belongs to you and your life is your own to you.
Yeah. Your body is yours to command at will. Okay, so how can adolescents talk to their parents or trusted adults when they feel embarrassed or unsure, especially when their breasts begin to grow and all those puberty begins to pop up?
Yeah, I feel like your parents can see. You're not blind. They know that these things are happening to you, but there's a whole lot of shame in our culture. There's a whole lot of how do I put it? Demonification of the woman's body, not human, the woman's body, because everybody kind of celebrates the man's body.
Yes.
But the woman's body is the one that cover it, cover it. Hide it. Your sensuality. Why are you feeling horny? You must be a wayward girl. You understand? But everybody understands feeling horny. Guy, they'll simply tell you, don't impregnate anybody.
Yes.
But you are not
Only.
even expected to even feel any kind of attraction towards the opposite sex. Because I remember growing up, they used to beat me, literally. I had my father beat me once because he saw me talking to a boy outside. Just talking outside on the street. So I know that issues like this happen. And with that kind of father, is that the kind of father that I'll now go and say, oh, daddy, I think I like the boy. It cannot work. It can't because do you understand?
Yeah.
So much of the work does not even lie with you. Most of the work lies with your parents. Have they set the tone? Have they made themselves approachable to you? On your part, I would not say that. I know this may be controversial, but I would not say tell your parents even though they don't want to hear, because you may be safer not telling them. Your safety may depend on you not telling them. Do you understand? But I would say do not also lean on the information that you get from maybe online or friends. You have to verify information. Try as much as you can to get information from people who are professionals, people who you know they know these things. And also, when somebody tells you something, ask another person, so that you compare the information you get and you sieve out the ones that, you will now know the one that is true and correct and factual. Exactly. So, while I will not say, if your parents are open parents who allow room for those kind of conversation, by all means ask them. But if you know that it's going to give you a backhand, going to result in or it's going to result in shaming and all of that, you might as well just protect your mental health.
Yes.
And not talk about it. But if your parents are open, then go to them. If you have elder siblings, like you were talking about leaning on your elder sister, and she wasn't judgmental, she was willing to tell you. So it mustn't be parent. When we talk about parent, it mustn't be your biological parent. You may have a woman in church, a trusted adult. This auntie in your compound that is upwardly mobile.
Yes.
You know that she knows this thing.
And she won't tolerate nonsense.
And she will not go and rat you out, tell your parents things that you have told her. She will hold it in confidence and she will give you advice. Please meet her. And also, when you're meeting people to divulge information, I don't like to stereotype, but please, as much as possible, if you're a girl, meet a girl.
Yeah.
If you are a boy, meet a boy.
Exactly.
A trusted one though.
Please, do not go and say, oh, I saw my period. You're not going to tell that bro, that boy used to call you my wife. I used to dash you 50 naira. Please don't tell him. Okay, he's not the right person for you. He's not your father. All right. So you might want to talk to a trusted adult. And let me mention here that sometimes your parents are the ones that will harm you. It is not uncommon for us to hear in this field where we work of girls being raped by their fathers, raped by their brothers, raped by their cousins, their uncles, even boys being raped by their mothers, babies. Things like that happen all the time. So when you find out that the people that are supposed to protect you are people harming you, then you need to seek help elsewhere. Okay. And then if people that are outside harm you, you can now come home and seek help, and don't take no for an answer.
Okay. So, Dorcas, do you think schools and communities do enough to talk about puberty and mental health together? And what could they do better?
I think they don't do enough.
Okay.
I think I have mentioned it in the course of this podcast that we don't do enough. There's too much silence on the matter, and it's partly purity culture, the patriarchy, and the fact that women's bodies are heavily policed. So when you talk of puberty, people tend to feel like the thing that comes to their head is, oh, breast, sexual organs. But it's way beyond all of that, and way affects our day-to-day life, our well-being, our mental health, our physical health as well. Because with puberty comes a lot of responsibility, because now you have gotten to the point where your body is saying, I can reproduce, and anything can happen. So it instead of focusing on how it's something that one should be warned about. Oh, if you carry belly, the way they usually say, my father used to tell me, if you get pregnant, you will sell pure water. But nobody told me how to get pregnant. Nobody told me about contraceptive. Nobody told me about the fact that, nobody gave me sex education. Do you understand? Communities don't talk about it. Everybody is keeping quiet. Everybody is pretending as if they are shy because they are not shy. Go on, no.
You say, let's not say it because we are small, and these things are just, we have heard it already, so it's
and you did not even hear it from the correct source. What you heard was probably wrong. And then when you don't know something, because life abhors vacuum, it does not want to vacuum. So by the time that there's a vacuum like that, definitely you go out there to look for information to fill it in, and it may be the wrong information. Exactly. So it's better that schools talk about it. It's better that communities talk about it. Churches should talk about it. Families should talk about it.
When you talk about churches talking about puberty, menstruation, and all that,
they are going to probably
they
are going to faint. It is probably exactly. And so all of this does not help anybody because you are in the dark. But this is a natural biological process, and you're working in the dark. Anything can happen. You can make mistakes. So I feel that schools have to add in their curriculum sex education. They have to teach sex education. Let the boys know. Let the girls know. Let
Every
everybody
gender.
know. Even before puberty, they should already start telling children about puberty.
know
There was
what's
somebody's video I saw one day, and she was teaching her. That girl is no more than 3 or 4 years. She was teaching the girl about consent, bad touch, good touch. And the comment section was all about people saying, and you are teaching her bad things. And I'm like, but it is good. It is going to protect her,
She
because
feels
if
Yes.
they
somebody
can rape
touches
her,
her
yeah.
inappropriately, she can come and say, "Mommy, somebody gave me a bad touch."
Yes.
And then the mother can take it up from there. So it protects the child. But society looks at it as if it is corrupting the child.
Yes.
But that is a wrong way to look at it. It's actually good to know your options, to have the correct information, and then you now make decisions based on that, instead of just waddling in the dark and making mistakes that may cost you.
So, Hope, what are your final words for somebody who might be sitting right there watching you?
Okay, so I just want to say stay strong here. Don't feel shy, or don't feel like it's something shameful because you are in the stage of puberty. And also there we are all together. Just you have people you can talk to. You are not alone. You are not strange. You're not a weird person. You're just normal. It's something that happens to everybody. So just be courageous and feel okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm with you. How about you, Dorcas?
I will add to what she has said and say that it will pass. You are not going to be in puberty forever. So whatever you're feeling now, know that it is fleeting. It will pass. And then as much as possible, take care of yourself. Love yourself. You cannot give out of what you don't have. You understand? So you have, in order to be there for your family, to be the child that your parents expect you to be, you have to take care of yourself. So take care of yourself. Love your body and learn your body. Gather information. Gather the right company. Just know that there is no shame. It is a normal biological process. I like to say it is like breathing. Nobody's ashamed of breathing, not so good. So that's how it is. And that's how you should see it.
For me, I say enjoy yourself. Enjoy puberty because we live this life once. Okay, thank you. Thank you. A big thanks for tuning in to this episode of For Adolescent by Adolescents. I remain your host, Nado, from the N to the A to the D double O. And I hope today's conversation helped you to see that puberty is a natural part of life. And while it can feel overwhelming, trust me, you're not alone. Like I said, you are not alone. And if someone you know is struggling, you can always reach out for help at 081 475 53343. I'll say it again. 081 475533 and 43. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on our social media platforms on For Adolescents by Adolescent on IG and FB. Please, please watch us and share our thoughts. Share your thoughts. Share as many as you can because this podcast is going to really help you. A big thank you to Dorcas for sharing your insights and guidance, and to Hope for keeping the conversation real. And here's your final takeaway: your body is growing, your mind is growing. So give yourself patience and be kind to both. I remain your host, Nado, and we're signing out. Bye.